That means you're extraordinary.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Don't Shoot Disc Golf podcast. This is episode number 30. I am your host, Harry Messenger, coming to you live from my studio in South Manchester in the United Kingdom. And tonight we have a very special guest who I am very excited to welcome to the show. And it's our second guest from America. Fourth or fifth guest from overseas, I think, but second guest from America. And it is Mr. Ian Anderson from CentralCoastDiscGolf. And let me get my things in order.
Hello.
Apologies. Hello, Ian.
Who was the other American?
Oh, we had Jamie Thomas from
nice, man.
Jamie Thomas from all of the Jamie Thomas things. So yeah,
That's perfect, actually.
I think I've got everything figured out on the stream side. I can see you. I can see the chat. Hello to everybody in the chat. We got Ben Coyle. Hi Ben, Max, Carol, Shane, and Steve Cormula says hi to you, Ian.
Hello, guys.
So yeah, Ian, thank you for joining me, and welcome to probably your first UK Disc Golf podcast experience, I would say. Being that we haven't had one for very long, so yeah, if chat could let us know how the levels are, and if we need anybody up or down, that would be brilliant. And I'm so excited to be back. This is me returning after a 1 week break. I was no show last week. I was off on a somewhat social media detox adventure. I was chewed out from the world up in Scotland, and right now I was probably just leaving a beautiful lake that had very got dark and I didn't want to leave. But yeah, so great to have you on the show. So Ian, this is a UK Disc Golf podcast, obviously. So usually our first segment is called UK Disc Golf News. How does that sound to you?
Fire away, then.
We've even got fancy graphics.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. So yeah, what's going on in the UK Disc Golf News? Oh, I'm supposed to thank my sponsors. I always forget the first thing. Thank you to London Disc Golf Community for sponsoring the YouTube stream, and thank you to Launch Disc Golf and Disc Golf UK for powering the podcast and letting us do what we do. There you go. Second thing. First thing was greeting Ian. Second thing, sponsors. So yeah. UK Disc Golf News. What's going on in the UK right now? The answer is loads of stuff, which is surprising because we've had a very quiet year from all the COVID stuff. But right now we're in the midst of a big tournament swing. Everyone's sort of trying to get at least one tournament to happen this year, and we've got a big one coming up this weekend, Ian. It's the British Championships.
Nice.
So yeah, British Championships not as big as, say, the US Disc Golf Championships, which we are going to cover in a little bit. Obviously, took place very recently, but they're our version, and we have a somewhat controversial points qualifying system. So basically, you get points for playing in previous tour events, and persons with the most points in each division qualifies for the championships. And this has been quite a weird year for getting points because there's been a lot of people who have been unable to travel to tournaments, so therefore haven't been able to get points. So we're missing some of our big names at the British Champs this year, but it's still going to be a great event, and I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Who's your biggest name?
Our biggest name, I would say right now, probably the biggest name is Noah Smithson. I would say right now.
Oh, cool.
Because he's had some exposure on CCTG when he did our Quarry Park Open.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just got better and better since then, and he's 985 rated now. So he's
Nice, man.
so he's climbing, but he's unable to make champs because he's got exam retakes because he's only 16. So he's got school priorities.
Gotcha.
But yeah, of course we've got James Luton, who's the TD this year, who's one of our most well-known players, and he'll be looking to take down his 5th British Championships this weekend.
Nice.
And we've got a couple of people who we'd like to see there who aren't going to make it. For example, Charlie and Joe O'Brien, who are, again, really good young players. And we've got loads of our Scottish friends who usually would make it down, but obviously we've got restrictions right now. So we've got some really good players up in Scotland, but they're not able to make it down. An example is our highest-rated female player, who's Rachel Turton, who's a new convert from the ultimate scene. Picked up disc golf this quarantine, is already in the top 20 in Europe rating-wise. So
there's a lot of converts since the quarantine.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, question for you, Ian. Have you got any questions about the UK disc golf scene? Because I feel like it might be a good way to introduce you to the UK scene is to have a few questions.
was say like who's the highest rated player in the UK?
Okay, so right now the highest rated player in the UK is called Ben, and I'm blanking on his surname right now because he has played exactly one event.
Really?
He averaged 1002 rated in his first ever event. Another one of the ultimate converts.
Okay.
So he's captured the top of our rankings on attempt number one.
Who's the top besides that outlier?
Yeah, it goes between a few people. There's a guy called Dan Ryan who's I believe he's originally American, but has been in the UK for years and years and years and years, like 20 years or something. And he's in the 980s, and then Noah's in the 980s as well. And then got perennial people who like James Luton, who's been in the 970s for years and years and years. So we're yet to have someone who's really consistently been up over 1,000. But we're definitely gonna. I think this will be the year we finally breach that.
I bet Noah will get there eventually.
Yeah, you'd think so. He's so consistent for his age. It's just crazy. Like you just look through his rounds, even in casual rounds, and he's just continually like -8, -9 on some of the courses over here.
He's got the distance to get you to 1,000.
Yeah, definitely, and he's still got growing to do. Like he's only 15, 16, so he'll still he'll get more power and stuff. And I've seen him throw 125 meters backhand and 100 meters forehand. So. So yeah, I think he'll continually he'll be one of the first to persistently be over 1,000. And then I mentioned the O'Briens earlier. Joe and Charlie are both playing really well right now, so they've got 1,000 rated rounds in them. So I wouldn't be too surprised if one of them made it as well. And they're both under 25. So
nice. What's the best course in the UK?
Ooh, there's a question. Yeah. So my personal opinion is that there's a couple of top tier courses. Obviously, there's Quarry Park that you've seen. My favourite is Bluebell Woods, which is in Scotland, in Dunbar in Scotland. It's Reboot Disc Golf, and Seamus Scanlon is the owner there. He was one of the Maple Hill ground staff back in the day when he lived in America, and he came over here and founded a course in Scotland, and he's turned it into an absolute paradise for disc golf. I was playing there this weekend at the Scottish Open.
So, is it on film?
It's not on film, but you can see the course on film because it had a Euro Tour there in 2018, I think, or 2019. And the Danish disc golf guy, who was just in the chat, hello Rene, Danish disc golf guy's got that one on film, so that's there. And that's my personal favourite because I love woods courses, and that's the one I would recommend to anyone from the US coming over because it's just so... You can just tell it's Scottish from being there. Like it's not like anything you'll have played in the US. It's got, if you come in the spring, it's got bluebell flowers all over the floor, and
nice.
Obviously there's these big ancient trees that you're playing around. So it's wooded, but it feels really open because there's so much air space around the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And then other personal favourite courses, there'll be Whitcomb Farm, which I've never played, which is very highly promoted amongst the UK community. A lot of people will say Whitcomb is their number one, but I've not made it yet because they don't really do sanctioned tournaments. It's more of sort of a casual course. It's on private property, and you have to arrange to go and stuff. So, and then I gotta say, Cotswold View. It's not one of the best courses in the country, but it's one of them. It's a really solid course. It's Richard Hatton's baby.
Oh, cool.
He designed that from the ground up, carved it out of the forest, and it's short and technical. And I went there this week, and it absolutely ate my lunch again. You often leave thinking you can't throw anymore because the fairways a lot of the fairways are like 2-3 meters wide, so you really have to be on your game to play there. But
I just got back from North Carolina, and all the fairways there are like that. Those courses are so tight.
Yeah.
You understand why Germ has the game he has like that, and MJ has the game that he has. Just hitting gaps.
Yeah, it's crazy watching them, and it doesn't matter where they are. They've always got some trick shot that will get them out of the situation.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is. So we were mentioning UK disc golf news, so I think on a personal front I should talk about my tournament from last weekend. One of the reasons I was away, and we played the Scottish Open, which was really fun. The Scottish Open champion in the Open division was getting his fourth mention of this podcast already. That was Joe O'Brien. And he played pretty good to take it down. I think he shot -3 average on the 2 rounds.
Nice.
And I played intermediate. So in England we play MA 4, 3, and 2, but in Scotland they play 3, 2, and 1. So we don't have
no 1 in England.
Yeah, I don't really know why, but we don't do MA 1. So here in England, I play. I think it's to make it more parallel with the ratings from America. So
Interesting.
any player who would be, I think MA1 is like 930 and higher, but still playing AM in America, maybe.
935. You have to play
Yeah.
AM2 in America. Yeah.
Yeah. So here in the UK, anybody who was over 935 would play Open, because we don't have the pool for less than that.
Gotcha.
So we play AM3 up to 900, and then AM2 up until you want to play Open, basically, in England. But then in Scotland, they play AM1 at sort of 900 to higher ratings.
Okay.
So I was playing AM. Anyway, the point of the story was I was playing AM2 in Scotland, whereas I'll be playing AM3 at British Championships. But yeah, I managed to take down the division. So my little Scottish Open trophy plate. I'm not sure how well the camera's going to pick that up, but there's a picture on my Facebook. But I very happy to win my first AM2 event.
That's cool, man. Congrats.
Thanks. Yeah, I think I played pretty well. I wouldn't say I played amazing, but I played really good off the tee, and that was enough. Sort of because it was only AM2. I don't feel like you have to be perfect on off the tee and approach and putting. You have to be good on one and okay on the others, and that's enough for the weekend.
Right.
So I took it by 4 shots. I played fine, but not amazing. I missed too many putts. I missed too many approaches, but yeah, I was really good off the tee, and it was my most birdies in an event by a very long way. So I was very pleased with that, and it's good momentum coming into British Championships this weekend, which is obviously the one that everyone wants to win here. Even if you're playing the AM divisions, it doesn't feel quite the same as playing Open divisions, but I think what's really great about it is everybody plays the same division all season pretty much. So the guys who I'll be playing with are the 10 guys who've played the most and performed the best in AM2. AM3. So because we've obviously had to earn our points to get there. Everyone who's been there feels like the crew have been in our division all season. So it's a really cool tournament. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, nice. Good luck.
Thank you. So I think that makes it for the UK Disc Golf news for this week. But I always like to start out with that. If I've missed anything, everybody in chat, let me know, because I wasn't on social media, so I don't know anything else that happened apart from the things that I was doing. So yeah, let me know if you're in the chat and you want to. Let me know if anything that happened in the UK this week, because I've probably missed out. Oh, I do remember something else. Derek Robbins letting us know in the chat that the Quarry Park Autumn Open is full and everybody are paid up. So tournament in 2 weeks has filled up and will be taking place. It's just a 1 day, but it's a really great course, obviously, and it's nice to be able to get down there. Carol,
How's the wind doing?
How's the wind doing?
Yeah.
It's quite windy.
That's Derek Robbins, right?
Ah, yes. Sorry, I missed that one for a second there. Yes, he's doing good. Yeah, he's about to have his winter sabbatical, which he takes every year, where
Nice.
where normally he would close the course apart from members and travel in the winter and get out of the country. But this year he is keeping the course open, and his sort of minions is how I like to say it, but employees are going to be running the course for him. So he's sort of loaning the course to his employees, and they're going to keep it open. They're going to do a load of work. They're going to run some glow rounds and stuff. So if anybody's interested in that, become a Quarry Park member for it's about £100 a year, but it's well worth it if you're in the area.
Nice.
Being reminded by Josh Jyer in the chat as well that there was an ace race with Launch Disc Golf discs, which is our new brand. Have you come across Launch Disc Golf, Ian?
No, I don't think so.
So it's Richard Hatton and Dan Whiteman and Dan Hunter, who are some of the big names in disc golf over here, and they've been making discs. Disc Golf UK is their other brand.
Oh, okay.
And so Disc Golf UK is their sort of baseline discs, and they've launched a premium sort of higher quality aimed at people who are more into disc golf rather than beginners, called Launch Disc Golf. And they've just had their first few discs PDGA approved. So we've got the Lander, which if you are interested in buying a Lander, anybody in chat, head over to Disc Golf UK. There are special Don't Shoot Disc Golf stamped Landers with the art done by John Dawn, who is one of the big artists over in America. So go check that out if you haven't already grabbed yourself one. It'd be good if I could show one, wouldn't it? But I'm not sure I'm organised enough to be able to do that. I don't think I am. Oh, I am. Brilliant. There you go, Ian. Have a look at that.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's real cool.
Yeah, Stonehenge on a disc with my logo on. So check them
Richard
out.
Haddon might have told me about these.
Yeah. They're the discs that he's
Okay.
designing. So
Gotcha.
so yeah, apparently there was an ace race event at Mendip this weekend, which was using these launch discs. So there's some disc golf news. It was won by Mark Fleetham and Rich Hatton. So congrats to Mark and Richard.
Nice.
Yeah, I would recommend checking out some launch discs when you can, Ian. There's US distribution is on Infinite, so
Oh, nice.
you could pick yourself one up.
Cool.
I'm being told in chat that I need to make a little rack to show off my discs, and I agree. I probably should just have that behind me. That would be good. That would definitely be good. Although I would have to buy one. I'm not very crafty. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about you, Ian. Where's all my things are in the wrong order, but we'll be good any second. There we go. Ian, welcome to the show. Probably should have done this first, but I was very keen to get UK Disc Golf news and brag about my victory.
No worries, mate.
But yeah, why don't you introduce yourself to anyone here who... I'm just assuming everyone knows you, because to me you're one of my disc golf heroes almost, having been one of the voices which got me into the sport in the first place. But for anyone who doesn't know, why don't you give them a quick intro to who you are?
Sure. My name's Ian Anderson, and I run Central Coast Disc Golf. We film, professional disc golf tournaments and other random tournaments around the country and sometimes the world when we're lucky. Yeah. I love talking about disc golf. I love disc golf. I'm addicted. I play a couple times a week still, at least. So, yeah.
Me too, man. Me too. That's so cool. Yeah, and like I was saying, you're one of my the first people who I came across when I came into disc golf. Unlike most people, when I googled disc golf, and obviously as you first do when you pick up the sport, you Google it and put it in YouTube. I came to Central Coast channel first rather than Jomez, which seems to be the most people's path in these days. But
these days, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think I'm a few years into the sport now, so I think I've been playing
Nice.
3.5 years now. So back then, Central Coast was the biggest channel, I think, and
Probably.
yeah, and it was really great intro. It was such a chill vibe. I always used to love the commentary that was you and what's his name? The guy Johnny Disc Golf.
Corey.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Josh in chat saying if anyone doesn't know the face, surely they'd recognise the voice. And I would say in very iconic voice.
Thank you, sir. Got lucky with that one. I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. So how would you describe your current position within Central Coast? Obviously, you're the main man, but what is the day-to-day like at the moment with that?
Actually, honestly, don't do a ton day to day, kind of just managing the business and planning our trips and stuff like that. I have a day job too. I work as an industrial engineer at a fast food company in the U.S. But yeah, just planning our trips, and then once we hit, and we go on a trip, it's the ground. We're just running the whole time doing work. Days usually look like filming around, going back editing until like 10 or 11, and then Peter stays up a little later to slap it all together. He probably goes to sleep at like midnight or 1. He renders it, and then I wake up in the morning and do commentary at like 8 or 9, and we slap that together and head back to the course and rinse and repeat.
Do it all again. Wow. Yeah. So that's an intense schedule, I'm sure. So are you out there with a camera as well, or are you sort of calling the shots, or?
Yeah. I wish I could be that lazy, but no. I love filming 8cam until like hole 14, then I'm ready to be done usually. But like I like filming the T-pad cam. It's fun. I like being artsy with the shots, and it's a task. It's a hard skill to track a disc with a camera. It's not easy, so I think I'm good at it.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot. So I like to do it. It's fun, and then I like bullshitting with the players a little bit. Like workshopping some commentary thoughts, talking to the players, get some like little mini interviews for commentary, stuff like that. That's all fun.
Awesome. So something I really appreciate is that exact thing you just mentioned. I love how on Central Coast you always seem to know what discs they're throwing. I always love, especially when you're covering brands. I mainly throw MVP and Cataplast and sort of less well-known brands. So I really love it when you happen to know exactly which MVP discs they're throwing, because you get obviously you watch Jomez as well, and you hear them and they're saying, this is just a disc, and they don't know the names or what they're throwing, or so I really appreciate the effort on those ones.
Thanks, man. Yeah, like part of my routine actually after usually when I'm sucking down the footage, I'll bust out my phone and open Facebook Messenger and hit up every single guy that's on the card and be like, hey, can I get your disc information? And usually and I kind of give them an example of what is easy for me to do, just like 1 through 18, just your shots you threw out, and then I'll take a screenshot. I'm like flipping through my phone, reading these things as I'm doing commentary.
Oh, wow. I've always wondered how that's worked.
Yeah, even on the live, I did it for live too. When I did the USDGC, I called up. All these guys know what they're gonna throw in every hole, right? Because they practiced the course, they know what's going on. So I was like, "Hey guys, what are you gonna throw on each hole?" They're like, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem." They all sent it over, so I knew what everybody was gonna throw, even during the live. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, so yeah, let's talk about the live a little bit, because that was a new experience for you, I'm sure, but a new experience for us as well. So I'm sure some people here, including me, paid for the pay-per-view and watched USDGC live and got to experience the live show, and it was absolutely fantastic. I can't say how much I enjoyed it. I was blown away. I really loved the sort of the three-way commentary you ended up with. I think it was really lucky that you ended up with Nate Sexton available for some commentary, because I think that added a third voice to you guys. It gave you and Philo a little bit of a break on occasion, because I think something that people don't realise if they're not doing commentary in live form and stuff is just how long you're going to be talking for.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours, 4 hours talking. It actually, like, it flew by. I don't know. It felt really fast. And yeah, like you said, having Nate there was great. He's like the perfect add-on to literally any broadcast. He can do as little or as much as you need him to do, and is good to do. He'll just do whatever's right. So it was really great having him on there, and Philo was awesome too. It was really fun. It was like experience of a lifetime. Like, it felt like the coolest thing I've done.
I was just loving it. Like, every night I was here watching it. It was on at a really perfect time for the UK as well. I hope other people appreciated it. But yeah, we got to, I think we started about 7 or something, and we're done by like 10, 11. So
perfect.
Yeah, perfect evening entertainment. So I think with a bit of a push, you could really sell that kind of broadcast in the UK, because I think the times line up really well.
Oh, that's nice.
And yeah, I really loved the general atmosphere. I liked all the vibes between you and Philo were great. I really appreciate Philo's sort of how calm and chill he is. It's really
yeah.
It's really
funny
something
with that. Yeah, it was like I thought it would feel a lot different than post produced. Like it didn't have to fake it anymore, which is nice. But other than that, it didn't feel too dissimilar. I don't know. I expected it to feel more different than it did.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So
at the end of the day, it's still talk about disc golf, you know.
Yeah, it is. You can just it's one of those things you can just talk about disc golf forever, can't you? So yeah. So I was always interested to know about the post produced. Like, how much of the reactions to stuff do you have to fake, or how much of it do you try not to come across? Obviously, you're there with the camera, so you can't really hide much. But
I film it and then I edit it, so I've already watched it twice before I do commentary on it, basically, or at least 9 holes of it I've watched twice. And I've watched all of it in person, so yeah, it's faking it all the way. I think the very first video I did, I actually like gave away every shot. I was like, "Oh, this is a great putt coming up right here," and people were like, "Stop that!" And I was like, "Oh, okay, I won't do that anymore." And I've tried not to do it since. Obviously, I'm not a perfect person, so I do it. You know, I have like tells, like, and then people start commenting on my tells in the comments. I'm like, I gotta stop doing that. And Ian always says the distance when it's gonna go in, so I gotta start saying the distance when it doesn't go in to throw these fuckers off. Sorry, but yeah,
that's really crazy. Yeah,
it's constant warfare with my viewers to trick them.
Yeah, I think you do a really good job, because I've never really much thought about the fact. I think you can tell you're doing it right because you never really think about the fact you're faking it until after you've watched it. You don't think like while it's actually happening. Obviously, when there's like something big that's happened and it's been all over the broadcast, you kind of know that it's going to be.
Yeah.
But part of you always thinks, do they know already? But obviously you do.
Oh, that's good then. Well, I mean, a lot of times Philo doesn't know, or the guy I'm doing commentary with doesn't know what's going to happen because they weren't there, right? Like, they might know of a good shot, but they haven't seen any of the shots. So that's kind of nice for them. They can have genuine reactions the whole time, as long as I don't give anything away. So.
Yeah, that is really cool. I really liked some of the commentary you did with Sias Elmore. Who he often watches the show. So hi, Sias, if you're hanging out. But I really liked some of your commentary you did with him, because I think he's really good at the technical analysis.
Yeah.
And I think that's something, because obviously you're really super knowledgeable about disc golf, but you're not like an incredibly 1020 rated player or anything. So sometimes they're really specific technical details of why they're doing something for the wind or the landing angle or something. And I really like it when the co-commentator can sort of jump in with some technical analysis.
Yeah, usually once around, Philo or Sias will drop some nugget that really resonates with me, and I think it's really cool. Sias is awesome. I'm a big Sias fan.
Yeah,
it was fun doing commentary with him.
Yeah. So what's next for you guys in Central Coast? What have you got
I
coming up?
guess coming up, like honestly, there's like one tournament in San Diego, like a local tournament I might film. I'm thinking about flying some pro out so I can get a big name in it and film it.
Sweet.
So, but I don't. There's like a San Diego Open or the Flyer Open, I think it's gonna be called. It'll be in December. But yeah, I think we're done. I just got back from my last trip of the year. On Tuesday, when I went out to Myrtle Beach. So yeah, but next year should shaping up good. Yeah, I think
Awesome.
we'll be doing all the NTs for FPO league card again, or not again. We'll be doing that. We were supposed to do it this year. We're gonna be doing it next year
Perfect.
because we'll have NTs next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
picking up lots of other stuff along the way, and yeah, a lot of stuff in the works.
Yeah, something that I was really interested with. Obviously, for those who don't know, all the NT events in the US were cancelled last year, this year due to COVID. But we still had a pretty much full schedule of Disc Golf Pro Tour events. And I was listening to Charlie. Who am I talking about? I was listening to
Charlie. Oh, Oldie World.
Yeah, Charlie, yes, Ultiway, talking about how they thought it was a massive perk this season that it was way easier to follow for all the new people because there was just one tour. And I was wondering what your opinions were on sort of Disc Golf Pro Tour versus National Tour, combining them, keeping them separate, that kind of thing.
I think they'll combine eventually.
Yeah.
I think that, and the PD, it's kind of like how golf is set up. There should be like a pro tour and then like an amateur side. And the PDGA is the amateur side, and it controls like the rules of the game and stuff like that. But they don't. I think eventually they'll get out of the tour running business and hand that off to the pro tour. That's my guess anyway.
Yeah.
It seems to be headed that way.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think certainly this season we've seen so much more from the Disc Golf Pro Tour on how they sort of vision the future with Jeff Spring coming in and all the new things he's added, and sort of the way they're doing the coverage now, and Disc Golf Network, and they've got the Silver Series feeder events, and so many different massive payouts and different things that they've brought in that I think now we're starting to see what a professionally run Disc Golf Tour could look like.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be really awesome to.
Yeah. No, they're doing really well this year. It's great.
Cool. Well, thanks for your advice on that one. I appreciate that. So we've got some questions for you from the chat, if that's okay.
Fire away.
So let's start with Ian saying, in commentary, do you have to be super careful not to swear?
Yes. I swear I already dropped an F-bomb in here. I swear constantly in real life. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever have to go?
I feel I don't have to think about it anymore when I do it, but like I'm conscious that it's not like top of my mind, but I do think about not doing it.
You got to the point where you don't accidentally just drop one and then have to go back and redo that.
Yeah. No, I haven't dropped one in a while.
Good. That would terrify me if I was doing something more formal than this. I was double checking everything I was going to say before I say it. So we've got a couple of UK filming questions for you. So we've got Steve asking, Ian, if you could give any advice to anyone thinking about starting to film rounds here in the UK, what would your top 3 tips be?
My first tip would be get a camcorder and not a camera. Autofocus and auto iris are your friends, and having to do that manually with a camera is hard. You can get like nicer cameras, but if you want to just get started, just buy the cheapest camcorder you can afford and knock it out. And after that, man, I say, don't let great be the perfection of good. Just get something done and post it out there. Filming wise, I say it was always easier to train disc golfers to film than it is to train filmers to film disc golf. So I don't know. I always pull from the disc golf community to have filming help because they know where to be and how a disc flies and all that stuff. It's actually a lot easier to teach camera work than it is that, surprisingly.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, and then I don't know if I got anything else. Hit me up if you have any questions. I'm available anywhere.
The Danish disc golf guy says, basically do as I do, cheap camcorder. I don't know if you come across his videos, but they're really good. So you should check
I did
out.
cheap camcorders. That's how I started, man. Actually, I started with a camera and I quickly learned that was garbage, and then I quickly switched to a cheap camcorder, and it worked fine for many years. And then I just buy nicer ones when I can.
Yeah, sure. So what do you mainly film with these days?
I have we have 2 Sony Z150s for our catch and T camera, and then we have a Sony FS7 for our slow motion camera, and then we have a Mavic 2 Pro for the drone.
Perfect.
Our,
Cool.
our main tools. I use little Zooms to record. We have shotgun mics, all that good stuff. Yeah.
So we've got Ian in the chat saying that when you said walking fire about his outfit and the Quarry Park coverage, it's the highlight of his disc golf career. So so you're being appreciated, and he wants you to say walking fire again about him if you ever see him again.
That's awesome. Love it, man. Love it. You are walking fire, man.
And someone wants to know if there's any more plans to cover anything in the UK now the seasons are stopping in the America.
Yeah, I'm always down. I still have an Iceland tournament I need to edit, and I feel really bad about it, but it's so I need to get that done before I'll commit to anything in the UK. But yeah, I'd love to get over there, man. My wife constantly wants to go to the UK.
Oh yeah, you should bring it. Sure.
Yeah. I won't be able to come and not bring her and her son. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good place to visit. So
yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I was personally wanting to ask you while I get my list of topics up here. Something I was really excited to ask you about personally was how did you start CCGG? What's the origin story?
I think it starts with like me on YouTube making video game videos. I think that's where it really starts.
Awesome.
I got really into Battlefield Bad Company 2, which is probably like a 20-year-old game now.
So
not even.
what kind of era are we talking here?
Oh, it's like the COD era. Actually, it's probably like a 10-year-old game. So it's probably like 2010. I started playing Battlefield Bad Company 2, and I started making record myself playing and do commentary on it afterwards. And then I got super into disc golf randomly, and I bought my wife a camera that Christmas. And then right before Worlds, there was a local tournament that had like some big names like Will Schusterich and Eric McCabe, Joe Revere were there. And I just posted on Reddit, and I was like, hey, if I go film this, would anybody watch it? And they were like, yeah, sure, man. So I just went out there and did it, and it was kind of fun. I don't know, and the people were like really nice in the feedback, they're really encouraging, and I don't know, it just felt like a fun creative exercise, and I liked doing it, so I just kept doing it and just never stopped.
Wow.
Just always tried to like tiny improvements, like the whole way, just buying slightly better cameras, trying to get slightly better graphics. I'm always trying to improve my commentary through, I get feedback all the time, so I always listen to feedback. It's helpful. It's always nice. It's nice when it's nice feedback. Constructive criticism is nice when it's nice. But yeah,
yeah, it's always one of those things where you're always really excited to get feedback, and then you always got to try and not be disappointed if it's not the feedback you were desperately.
And I honestly don't mind if I don't mind criticism as long as it's constructive. Like, there's no need to say like this commentary sucks. It's like, well, okay, but how do I make it better? Right? What didn't you like about it? Tell me that kind of stuff so I can get better. But.
Awesome. So we start. That's your origin in disc golf, and then you just started to grow. Was that sort of natural, or did you have people asking you to come out and do coverage straight away, or what was the next steps like?
Yeah, I kind of just like filmed like my friends, and it was like whatever tournament was like not too far for me to drive to, a couple hours away. I started getting more views on those, and I had like some friends helping me out early on, and then what is like the impetus of like growth is probably like some Corey joining and Peter joining, and Corey wanted to go like full time on the road and do Central Coast full time, so we like bought him a van and put him on the road for a year doing that stuff. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then so you just mentioned Corey going full time, and you also previously mentioned you still have a full time job in the real world almost. And the question from Steve is, do you ever envision doing disc golf coverage full time?
Yeah, I would. I don't know. It's hard, man. Yes and no. It's like it's so complicated. I have a wife and I have a kid. Actually, I have 2 foster children as well. I have no idea what's gonna happen there, but I love them, and it's hard like leaving everybody all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Have my wife having to watch 3 kids by herself, and 2 of them are a little extra effort. So it would be awesome though, man. Like just doing maybe Central Coast full time would be fun, but it's on the road a lot, which my job isn't, which I like a lot. I get to go home. It's like 9 to 5. It's everyone I work with is really nice. The work's like interesting and challenges my brain and stuff like that. So I'm very conflicted. I don't know.
It's a hard one, isn't it? And I mean, obviously, your current job must be quite good with being able to let you go out to tournaments and stuff as well. You must have you got a pretty good thing going there. So it's quite hard to take that jump and commit to the sort of the full time.
I don't have the NHS, man. US sucks, man. It's so annoying, dude. Private health insurance is a bullshit, and it's just the most frustrating thing. Like, I probably would have quit 2 years ago if we had the NHS in the US. Like,
That's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, we forget how lucky we are over here. So
seriously.
So yeah, any American viewers who might come across this before the election, I'm not sure you don't have very much time now, but get out and vote and try and do something about getting the NHS or whatever could happen.
Unfortunately, we have two corporate
Yeah,
parties. That's all they do.
yeah. Maybe one day. And meanwhile, we've got a fight on our hands to keep ours the way it is. So
I know, right? They're trying to take it away as much as they can.
mhm. Yeah.
So that's my thing, and I get paid decent at my job. I'm like an industrial engineer, so
Yeah.
I got to replace that income somehow.
Yeah. It would be hard to. It'd be obviously one of those massively hard things to make a jump, but also you've got to balance the family life and everything else. So yeah.
Yep.
One of those things. We'll see where it goes. I'm sure everyone will be excited to follow along with the behind the scenes of Ian and find out a bit more.
Thanks.
Yeah, you'll have to come on in a few years and let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know how that was. Yeah.
I will, for sure.
So we've got a question for you from Steve again, asking about 2021 USDGC. Do you know if you're... I'm assuming it's way too far in advance still to know details about that, but would you like to do it again?
I would love to. Love to come back. So I hope you guys let them know you like me, so they'll have me back.
Sure.
If you liked me, or if you didn't like it, you let them know. Tell them to have me piss off. But
No, guys,
you like
everyone, tell them to bring Ian back next year.
So I heard it did better than it did last year, which is always a good thing, right? And
Yeah,
hopefully I played a small part in it doing better. And hopefully they want to have me back.
I hope so. Yeah, and it was significantly more expensive. So if it did better, then that's still really good, right? Because it means people are not only paying more, but they're also...
Oh, you're right, huh?
Yeah. I know.
I didn't think about that.
I followed the coverage both years, and
Uh-huh.
I really like this year's coverage a lot more than last year's. I think
Thank you.
a lot of it did come down to the commentary. A lot of it came down to sort of the fact that this year it felt a bit more like the coverage was continuous. Last year's felt a lot more segmented, and there were many more breaks. And I really did like having the champ in the booth and all of that stuff that there was the year before.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was really cool, but sort of there was lots of shots of Jamie and Ken sat chatting on a hay bale, and just knowing there was someone out there throwing that we weren't watching when that was going on was
Yeah, I want to watch this fly, man, as much as possible. That's why they did a really good job of this year of having just. It felt like constant action on my end. I don't know if it was on yours.
Oh yeah. It really was. Yeah, there was no time where I was sort of wishing it would cut away from you guys and go back to that.
Yeah.
So that was great, and also I think I can't remember if there was commercials midway through the event last year, but I really appreciated that there weren't this year.
Yeah, that was really nice.
That's the main thing that grinds my gears with the Disc Golf Network coverage. The fact that I'm paying for the Disc Golf Network and then there's commercials, and I know that's a more normal thing over in the US, but over here we don't really get that as much.
Yeah.
I kind of still somewhat naively expect not to have ads when I'm paying for the stream. So
I mean, at least they could I don't understand why they couldn't just give you I guess it's live, so they can't just have no ads for half the people. It just wouldn't be anything. I don't know what else they would show you. I guess it wouldn't really work. Never mind.
Yeah. No, it's I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the progression of live disc golf, because again, it's definitely something. When I first started watching Smashbox live, and it was no knock against Smashbox, they do a great job and everything, but I was not down for live disc golf. I just thought post produce was better. Getting to see everything sort of Steadicam, edited, follow flights, like all that was just way better. And now I'm fully in the other side of the coin. Now for me, if there's live, I'm watching that instead of post produce. Like it's for me, the experience of really finding out what's going on and it being happening right now, and I can go on UDisc and watch all the scores, not just the lead card and all that. It's just so much of a better experience. There's many more cool things you can do on the post produce, and I often will watch it anyway, just because when I've watched the live, I'm thinking, oh, I wonder what Philo or Sias or Ian will have to say about the way they did that, and I'd really like to see what their reaction is to that and that kind of thing. So so sometimes I watch both, but yeah, for you guys in chat who have not checked out live disc golf yet, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I'm a fan, man. Like after USCDC, it was like the live is so much more exciting than the post, because the guy that he was battling with is on the chase cards. You don't even like in the post, you don't really see it much. You know, it's like it definitely loses a lot.
Yeah.
Especially this tournament. Some tournaments, when when the guys are both on the card battling, it's almost equally exciting if you don't know the outcome. But this is a case where live definitely shines, or shone, whatever.
Yeah, another one that was really exciting was when Colton Montgomery won.
Yeah.
I was watching the live for that, and that was another one where it was off the chase card. He didn't know what was going on. They were sort of speculating about whether he knew, whether he didn't, like all that kind of thing. And I just don't know how well that could have possibly played out on post compared to live.
Yeah, they probably just showed the league card and they're like, oh, by the way, Colton won.
Yeah.
Right? That's probably what it was.
Yeah, it's so much harder.
There's no other way to do it, really. Like.
Yeah, so much harder to tell the story. Like if you don't have cameras on the chase card, if you don't have a sense of what the real time is like, because obviously in post it's not the same. You can't. I guess you could interject shots between two cards, but like then you have to have twice as many cameramen and.
Yep, and it gets a little weird in the edit, and yeah.
Yeah, and it probably takes longer to edit something like that as well, because you're trying to get off the course, get everything edited, get it on to the recording, so you can do the commentary in the morning, so you can get it up in the crazy short timescale that everyone demands for disc golf videos. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really hard to get that across for certain. So right, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a giveaway, and also do your Desert Island discs, if that's okay, Ian. But we've got one more question for you first from the Danish Disc Golf Guy. He'd like to know. This is becoming Danish Disc Golf Guy tech chat, but he wants to know compressed or raw file formats, and do you carry spare batteries or do you have a battery backpack?
We usually export like 16 megabits per second. MP4, I think it is. Yeah. And then battery. I carry an extra battery, but never use it.
So your camera just has a epic battery and you're fine.
Yeah, like when we get done with the round, our camera batteries are usually like 65%. It's pretty silly. No problem.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I'm always paranoid, so I always bring 2 extras, one for each camera, and throw them in somebody's backpack so we have them in case something terrible happens. Oh, did you lose me?
No, you're here. You're here. Sorry about that. I was literally just scrolling through a Facebook chat trying to work out what the giveaway was, because I am terrible at remembering what what we're doing. So, the giveaway, sponsored by Launch Disc Golf, as mentioned before, is one of the brand new full color print Code X discs. The Launch Disc Golf Code X is an overstable mid range. The flight numbers are 5.5303. It's a really great forehand disc, and it's really good for ton of other backhand stuff and various things. So yeah, if you want to check out a Launch Disc Golf Code X, all you have to do is comment in the chat. Just say hi, ask a question, whatever you like. Just let us know you're here, and at the end of the show, we'll pick a winner in 15 minutes for Code X, which is just coming up. Hopefully you guys are seeing me okay. I'm getting an alert saying the video is frozen, so hopefully my internet's not dropping out too much. But for anyone who missed that, we're doing a giveaway courtesy of Launch Disc Golf, so thanks to Launch for sponsoring the giveaway. And it's a Code X, which is an overstable mid-range. So comment anything in the chat, interact, ask a question, say hi, let us know you're here, and we'll give somebody a Code X. And Ian, I've had a message from one of the co-owners of Launch Disc Golf letting me know that we are going to send you a launch disc as well. I don't shoot lander, so hit me up with your address at some point, and I'll get that one sent over to you courtesy of Launch. So thanks guys for supporting the show.
Thanks guys.
Yeah, sorry if anybody's having any video issues in the chat. I can see people saying it froze for some people, so hopefully we're good. But yeah, this has been fun so far, Ian. Thanks for joining us, of course. And yeah, let's talk about Desert Island discs. One of my wife's favourite segments. Amy loves it here, so Amy loves the Desert Island discs bit. She likes to make Instagram. She does all my socials for the show, so she makes really cool Instagram posts about people's desert island discs.
Okay.
Yeah, people saying in chat they're having problems with my bandwidth. I'm sorry about that, guys. We're having some internet issues today, so hopefully you guys can hear me still, and there's no live video interrupted. Ooh. Yeah, apologies about that. I think it's actually my PC that's having problems. So hopefully we're still here. Hopefully you guys can see me. If you can't, it should be on YouTube at the end as well, so you can always go back and watch little bits. Seems like we're good now. I can see myself on the live feed. Hopefully we are. If we're not, then we can check it out at the end, and it should still be good. If you're in the Facebook chat, you could always check out the YouTube stream as well. We co-stream on both, so one might be working when the other one isn't. But yeah, apologies for any issues. Ian, let's talk about desert island discs. So, like I said before, for anyone who doesn't know, the segment is you are playing a disc golf course on a desert island. It's a pun based on a BBC radio show. So if you're not over 30 and in the UK, you probably don't know about desert island discs. But it was a show where they had politicians on and they talked about their favorite discs and stuff. So yeah, Ian, 3 discs: putter, mid-range, and a driver. Going out to a desert island. What are you bringing?
Bringing my Ion, my Neutron Ion that I've had for way too long. My
Yeah.
premium plastic putter that I putt with, and I still get crap for. And I'm bringing my 10-year anniversary Buzz, Z Buzz, and my Champion Edition T-Bird.
Cool. So
Yes.
so what do you like about the Z Buzz? What do you?
The Buzz, I love. I can put it on like almost any line. I love it's got tons of glide, like a really straight finish. Yeah, it's just fun. It's a fun disc to throw, and you can play catch with it. I guess I'm by myself, so no, I could maybe do some MTA with it. Have a good time there. Yeah, I usually use it for like hyzer flip to turnover shots. It's the main shot I throw with it, but sometimes I'll throw like a hyzer flip to straight if it calls for it. Yeah.
Cool. It's a really good disc for that shot.
Hmm?
Personally, I don't throw a Buzz. I use the MVP Reactor, which is very similar, but yeah, it's
Okay.
It's a really good disc for that kind of thing, and a lot of people recommend new players to get a Buzz. So so yeah, you should check one
My
out.
very first throw with a Buzz was an ace.
Wow.
So I'll always throw a Buzz.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was with like a real bar stamp Buzz too. I had 2 of them back in the day.
Nice.
They're gone. They're gone now, but I got a replica. My buddy bought me one.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we're still having some issues, but we'll wrap this topic up and then we'll call it a night, and we'll do a giveaway